Stay home. COVID-19. Stay home. COVID-19.
Hey! Welcome to another monthly unfa live stream. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Everything working okay? Whew. Last second. Oh man. I hope the audio video sync is okay, because that was the thing that I was correcting last second, and I'm not sure if it the web browser with my chat kind of doesn't want to. Oh, now it cooperates. Okay, let me just disable this thing. Whew, syncs perfectly. Okay, if I clap, does it sound like I'm clapping when I'm clapping, or does it look like I'm clapping before I clap? Or okay, never mind. Let's not dwell on that too much. B Music says, "Hi Unfa, with or without Ardor?" Today we're going to be using Ardor. Yes. Vassal Saftuk says, "Hey to Unfa and hi to your transparent hair." My hair is transparent? Or is it the mind? My mind is transparent. Because this t-shirt has green, and I'm using green for the green background, so the green doesn't exist. It's vaporized. All right, welcome. It's great to see everyone. There's 34 people watching right now. If you don't know me, if you're watching for the first time, I am Unfa. I am an electronic music producer and sound designer. I've been working in video game industry making sound effects. And I'm making music, and all of that I'm doing that with free and open source software and Linux, which is kind of unique. Not many people on YouTube do that. Oh, 37 people watching now. So welcome to my show. This is a monthly live stream. I do these every first Sunday of the month at 8 p.m. Central European time. And we're going to be doing some music today. We're going to make some music with free and open source software. And I'm going to also answer your questions about making music with free and open source software, because you may have some trouble or questions or stuff. And I'm like all over this. So yeah, I'm going to just try and read the chat and answer any questions. Chechu asks, no kick? Yeah, the tradition is that I start every stream by synthesizing a kick drum. No, we're going to make a kick drum. Don't worry. There's going to be a kick. I'm sure we're going to make a kick. Okay, and after that, the last half hour of the stream, I always play your music submissions. So I take music from my viewers. There is a Google form. For now, it's a Google form. In the future, maybe I'll find something open source to replace that Google form. But for now, it's a Google form where you can upload your music file. You need to tell me something about yourself. And also that music piece has to be made with free and open source software, at least partially. And I also ask you to disclose what software did you use, because that's important for this show. Because, you know, on every other music production YouTube channel, most people use proprietary DAWs, and sometimes they use open source plugins. Many of them don't even acknowledge that plugins are open source and not just freeware. One honorable mention is the channel called Venus Theory, where the guy doing this channel recognizes which plugins are open source, and he's made great videos about Surge and Odin 2 and other awesome plugins. Yeah, I'm doing only open source software, so everything you'll see is free as in freedom, and it runs on Linux. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Vassal Saftuk asks, Unfa, is it hard to find job as a beginner sound designer in the game industry? I think it's very hard. Honestly, I recruited as a 3D artist, but it turned out the company really needed a sound designer. because yeah, they really needed a sound designer, but they didn't recruit for a sound designer. They recruited for a 3D artist, and so for like at least 3 months straight, I was doing nothing but sound effects when I came to work there. So that was fun. In Poland, for example, when I'm like right now looking for a job as a 3D artist, hardly anyone is recruiting for sound designers in game development. And I think that's because most game developers, at least small game developers, realize that sound is important when they send like the beta to their publisher, and they write back and say, okay, this game is pretty cool, but it sounds like total shit. And then they go, oh damn, we need to figure out some sound effects because this is our total crap placeholders or something. And then they just find a poor guy and tell them to find some free sound effects and put them into the game. So that's how sound design is usually done in small studios. So I'm not actually seeking a job as a sound designer because nobody looks for sound designers. Only AAA companies are looking for sound designers, at least from my experience, and they're looking for seniors and people who have like worked 10 years in the industry. So that's not me. B-Music says, ha! Unfa has got a beep now. Yeah, I've implemented a semi-automatic system for bleeping words. I just need to hold a note. I can show this to you. You know what? Let's switch to the working layout. So this is my MIDI controller, and I've made some things. I made a button. If I hold it, it'll produce it will activate an oscillator producing a tone, and then a couple of sidechain gates do something that the tone only plays if I say something loud. So it's not like the tone is going to be there all the time. And then when the tone plays, it cuts off the actual speech. So that's a fun thing to do. I'm really proud of that one. I think I should do one time do a video explaining exactly how my live streaming setup works, because there's quite a lot of inspiring, interesting things I think people could learn from that. I think I've even put it on GitHub, but you know, just poking the files and reading scripts isn't gonna really teach you much. You need to get an explanation. All right. Oh, it seems that my screen keys are really in a weird place. So let's move that. Okay, that should be better. All righty. One interesting thing about my live streaming setup is I've done sometime when I was doing a Zerrhythms live stream. I've made a little tool in Godot game engine, which is a fantastic open source game engine. Godot, as in the play, the well-known play. And I programmed something that will count crashes of the software. And yesterday I modified it so it also recognizes Ardor, and it now like understands. It checks for what piece of software I'm running, and it also changes the layout. So unfortunately, the text here it's not perfectly laid out. I need to fix that. But well, I didn't have time to do that. So in case Ardor crashes, at least we're gonna see something funny going on, and yeah, that's gonna be a little bit of a consolation. Gan Void asks, hey Unfa, what version of Ardor are you running right now? This is the official stable 6.9 after back. This is the version that I'm running right now. Reread asks, is your coffee open source? You got me. I don't think so, unfortunately. Oh no, my coffee isn't open source. What a shame. My coffee isn't open source. I've just now realized I didn't plug in my headphones. Oh, I did. Just muted everything. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was buying fair trade coffee. Unfortunately, they pulled it from the store shelves and I can't get it anymore. So I'm drinking something else. And I think I should start drinking decaf because sometimes I make myself the second coffee of the day before midnight. And my doctor told me that's bad because I may not feel a high or rush, but the caffeine is blocking some neuroreceptors in my brain and making my sleep not as refreshing as it should be, to put it mildly. Shabab Hosseini says, open source autotune? Of course, I made a video about it. Open source autotune. Now, I can't sing. It's not that I can't sing. I just don't know what the key is. So I'm just singing notes between the notes of the autotune. Barble Warbles, what a name, awesome, asks, are you still using PipeWire, Unfa? I am using PipeWire. In fact, I can show you that I'm using PipeWire because I have PW-Top. Let me close it and show you again. PW-Top is a program that shows you what programs are using PipeWire sound server, what is their sampling rate, what is their buffer size, which is called quant, and some other things like how heavy is the processing they're doing, and also if there was any X runs or which is called errors in here. So yeah, and you can see my setup here. Actually, this is playing the JSTDI in is playing the background music for the this is a script that just randomizes music files and pipes them to Jack. Yeah, I should redo this one time in Godot, probably the music player as well. Just yeah. So yeah, I am using PipeWire and I've had some trouble today. Everything finally worked because I'm doing a lot of troubleshooting. For example, today I've been working on this live stream for 6 hours already, preparing. And that wasn't all. I've been working on it yesterday as well. So yesterday I was kind of sick and didn't feel very well. Yeah, so I had some trouble with Ardor crashing every time I insert a plugin. Hopefully that's not going to happen because I think I figured it out. I think. Vassal Saftiuk asks, Unfa, do you code? If so, which language do you use? I write some software. I wouldn't call myself a programmer because that would be an insult to actual programmers. So maybe software developer would be an insult because I can program some code, but I'm not great at figuring stuff out. Yeah, I do program. I mostly program in Godot, making a game. Is the autotune still on? No, that's just how I speak. Rayso says, just arrived. How things going? Brilliantly. Nothing crashed yet. Oh, man. Oh, by the way, I need to send the Ardor's outputs to Unfa Studio. That was 1 and 2. Audio input 1, audio input 2. I don't know why they are not in order. This is some quirk of PipeWire or some quirk with PipeWire and Ardor that the ports are not ordered correctly, which is weird. Okay. Lots of questions. I want to answer them all. If RTkernel won't help with many X by X run every time 2 minutes, I think I'll switch. Dolgov user said. I've been recently testing some different kernels, Linux, different versions of the Linux kernel optimized for different stuff to find the one that will give me the best latency. Also, I think I want to move this little thingy here. Right there, yeah. I want to be able to cover the keyboard, yes. What was I saying? Ah, yes, I tested different kernels. I'm right now using the LiquarX kernel. If I type uname-a, you can see it's LQX. It also says Zen. I think because LiquarX is some version of Zen kernel. But Zen kernel didn't give me as good of latency as LiquarX. And LiquarX gives me as good of latency as the real-time kernel. But real-time kernels aren't safe because real-time kernel means it will allow a process that needs that 100% of the CPU time. Normally that's impossible. Like every process, no matter how much it wants to do, it's gonna be told, okay, hold your horses. Now it's time to run some other processes. So if that process hangs, there's some bug in the software and it just goes in an infinite loop, it's gonna just freeze your computer forever if you are running a real-time kernel, and it runs with the real-time privileges. T.H. Wath asks, ever thought of defining your own kernel? Wait.
Oh, no. I don't think my autotune is running. I'm gonna turn it on and you can hear the difference. Now the autotune is on. Now the autotune is on. Now the autotune is off.
Can you hear the difference? Yep. So I'm running LiquarX kernel right now because I was benchmarking some audio interfaces. I was benchmarking the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 third generation and the Behringer UMC202 HD because thanks to a generous donation from one of the viewers and supporters of my work, I was able to purchase 3 popular 2-in, 2-out USB audio interfaces for testing. One is Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 third generation. One is PreSonus Studio 24C, and another one is Steinberg UR22C. But the Steinberg one is like out of stock in the whole entirety of Poland. Like it's nowhere to be seen. It will arrive by the new year. So like I'm waiting for it already like a month, and it's gonna be another month. No, 2 months. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. They had the slightly older model, but I specifically want the 22C version. So yep. Okay, I've been talking on about different things. Okay, please let me know this autotune can be running because I'm
monitoring my voice and I can hear it's not there.
You get it?
It's not there.
I could so
maybe lower the stereo-ness a bit because noise.
The most problematic part of recording sound in this room is my computer because it gets very warm and I had to, it's quite loud even when it's closed, and now I just removed all the side panels from it so it can cool down a little bit because I don't want it to throttle and cause performance issues on the live stream. So I'm using noise removal. I've also made a video about noise removal, real-time noise removal with open source plugins. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions right now. If you ask a question, please tag me at unfa so I can find you easier in the chat. What CPU cooler says, oh, this user has no name. So a user without a name asks what CPU cooler. I'm using a stock cooler for Ryzen 39 whatever. B-top. Ryzen 9 3900X. I'm using a stock cooler for that. I'm running LiveEditor. I could close it because I was just testing latency and correcting it, but that's not going to be useful anymore. So let's just close it. I'm going to free some memory. Jakub says, hello, Unfa. What headphones should a normie like me get so that I wouldn't offend sound artists? It's a good question. It really depends on like what is your budget. If you have like under €60 budget, then I think HyperX Cloud 2 is a really nice headset, which is comfortable. It sounds pretty good. It has a detachable microphone, so the microphone isn't like in your way all the time. And it comes with an USB audio interface, actually, which is pretty interesting. Which also like acts as an extension cord and a volume controller, and it's a very nice thing. I got this headset for my wife, and she's using it and she likes it. I haven't used it much because it's hers, and I have my Audio-Technica M50XBT, I believe. Yes, but these are expensive, at least more expensive. Like, to me, they were expensive. Some people may think that that's slightly more expensive, but these are excellent. And I also got the Bluetooth version so I can listen through my phone, and like I'm ingesting all music through these headphones and I'm mixing through them. So that kind of helps me learn how they sound and how should I mix my music, because like I have like reference tracks everywhere I need. Zard says, stock cooler? Yikes. You know, but the stock coolers for Ryzen processors are deemed to be pretty reasonable. And they've got RGB. But I think I probably should upgrade. I don't have a budget for that right now, but I think I'm going to start saving up for a new case and figure out some really good cooling, hopefully as quiet as possible. Yeah, I'm not overclocking my computer, and I never want to do that, but just, you know, running it on 50% load on a CPU like that, plus, you know, like 50% load GPU at all times, it just makes things hot. Like, there's 67 degrees on the CPU right now, and that's with open side panels. With closed side panels, it's like 8 degrees more. And the CPU load isn't that high, it's like 50%. We can go up to 100, and then things will get interesting. But when I close the panels, I just feel like the hot air blowing from under the desk. Dolgov user says, Unfa, hey, you got Ryzen 2. Have you experienced fat X runs every some minutes? I have not. I've been testing it. Like, I don't pay so much attention to X runs. We can see in PW top. So pulse wire. Yeah, PipeWire top. There were 339 X runs, but they were on the audio interface. Like, everything got this. Not sure why. You can see that I'm running a really big buffer size of 1024, which gives like 21 milliseconds of latency. This is high. It's not suitable for like recording live instruments, or at least monitoring your input through the computer, because the delay is very distracting. But I do that so that I don't have any X runs when I'm streaming, because the streaming and recording also puts a high strain on my computer. Unfa, even multi-threaded CPU's real-time kernel can look up system. Reread. I am not sure. Maybe it's not going to look up the entire system. Maybe it would only look up the core that the locked up thread is running on, or the locked up process. I am not entirely sure. Did not test that. So sometimes I got in my DMESG, which is a tool to demask. Oh no, I can't show you demask. Okay, here I can show you demask. This thing on top is demask. Maybe it stands for debug messages. I don't know. It basically shows you all the information that the Linux kernel spits out. When you connect a USB device, you'll see it. When you connect a disk drive, you'll see it. When something goes shit, you will see it here as well. If your file system is corrupted and it has bad sectors, you'll see it. I recently saw some errors on my BTRFS file system. And why the hell did I bring that up? Oh, and sometimes I saw when I was using the other Ryzen processor I was running, which was Ryzen 7 1700, no X. That was the first generation Ryzen processor. Sometimes one of the cores would just freeze, look up, and then crash. Maybe that was something to do with that. I don't know. Some time ago, I had real trouble. I have swapped the CPU. I have swapped the motherboard. I have swapped the power supply. Yeah. And that fixed some problems. My CPU just went bad. I sold it used, explicitly saying that it has issues. And someone bought it really quickly. I hope it works good for them. 7 Morel asks, Unfa, would you recommend PipeWire when only doing audio? What do you mean only doing audio? Like not doing video production? The video aspect doesn't really change anything about PipeWire. I mean, PipeWire supports video. In theory, you could, I could gather my USB video captures, basically this camera and this camera, through PipeWire, but it's not, I don't think it's finished yet. Schlagzeugtier says, Unfa, are we gonna make some music tonight? Yes! And we'll start with a kick. Let's insert a MIDI track. G on kick single. Let's add 4 of these. I promise I didn't stage that. I really wanted to make music. All right, let's do it again. Order 6. What? Okay. Segmentation fault. Ooh. Alrighty. That was a good start. Let's try again. Yes, we're gonna make some music, absolutely. And X says, the biggest problem is buggy software. Yeah, the thing is that on some hardware, things work perfectly, and on some hardware, they don't. And sometimes you just can't figure out why. And there are some people say that, hey, come to Linux, it just works. You'll never have to touch the command line. Tum, tum, tum. You'll never wish you didn't come to Linux. It's not that simple. Maybe if you're doing very basic stuff, like just browsing the internet, watching videos, playing games. Playing games. Playing games isn't that easy as always. Okay, let's try again. I really think that should not happen. Yep. Oh, and we have probable. Okay, yeah. Oh shit! I have a good idea. No, I don't. Okay, what if I just disable this? All right, I don't want you to hear this double. But this. Okay, so we either give up side chaining or we give up the explosion sound when Ardo crashes. I think I'm gonna give up the explosion sound. Okay, we got a Geon Kick single. We can synthesize a kick. Geon Kick is a fantastic open source drum synthesizer plugin. The worst thing about it is that it's not available for Windows. Everything else is just awesome about it. Like, I know a lot of people like are bound to Windows and they can't really leave that because, I don't know, they need some software for work or something. And I get that. Like, if you're doing CAD work, maybe you're depending on some specific software. So like you probably would need to either install Linux alongside Windows on your computer or have a different computer or whatsoever, or install Linux on a USB stick and run it off of that. But it's not very convenient. I've been doing this. B-Music says, not for Windows. Why is this as bad? Well, I don't care because I only run Linux and I promote Linux. But I know some people use Windows and yeah, it's like, it sucks to be you because you can't use this awesome plugin. And I don't want to be nasty. Like, I don't want to bully anyone into using Linux. It's not a simple thing. Sometimes you have issues and you have no idea what to do with them. An example is that recently, for some reason, my computer decided I'm not going to suspend anymore. Suspending doesn't work. It suspends and it keeps spinning the fans and it keeps the RGB inside the case on and like it works. It's just like half suspended, but it never actually suspends. And then I just hit the power switch and it resumes. So I figured the only way I can actually make my computer stop without turning it off completely is to hibernate it. And that thankfully works most of the time, but not always. Sometimes I need to do it twice or thrice. And why? No one knows. I can't figure this out. So Linux is not simple, but Linux is a trade-off. You get fantastic powers, you get true freedom, you get the true. You can do anything with your operating system. Anything, really. Super crazy stuff. Like, I had a small SSD. I have a small SSD and a large HDD. And, like, neither will work for my system. But, thanks to something called Bcache, I was able to put the two together. And now I have a fast and large storage made out of these two. When the SSD is acting as a cache device for the large disk. So I no longer have to worry about running out of space on my system partition, for my system so-called root file system, and it's super freaking fast. So yeah, like I don't think you can do stuff like that on Windows or even Mac. But with the power comes responsibility. You're gonna need to spend some time learning things. And sometimes things are just gonna give you a headache. But there's a great community of people around it that will help you. So things take time on Linux. They don't just work every time. Sometimes they do. More often than not, they do. And it's getting better and better. But sometimes they just don't. And the good thing is that most likely someone already had this problem, they solved it, and they posted a solution on some forum, or it was immortalized on the Arch Linux wiki, which is the source of all the Linux-related knowledge. Gren Void says, Unfa, you should go with at least, the very least, with Endeavor OS instead of Manjaro, though. I mean, Manjaro does some stuff suboptimally, unfortunately. You know, I have actually converted my Manjaro installation into Arch Linux. This system is now considered Arch Linux. I've removed all the Manjaro packages, all the Manjaro repositories, all the Manjaro configuration, and switch them back to pure Arch Linux. So this is Arch Linux, former Manjaro. I've done that because I've learned about some weird things that was happening with Manjaro, like a guy who was responsible for like managing community donations was just fired because he objected a purchase of a laptop that was like unjustifiable. And I read about some security fuck ups. Oh shit. Forgot to use the bleeping thing. Never ever available asks, is the conversion stable or did you notice any impacts? I don't think I really had much problems after converting Manjaro into Arch Linux. It like, I don't know, like I miss the hardware, the kernel management GUI, because that's nice. And I miss the Manjaro hardware driver manager because that's also nice. I like these two programs. They are really, really, really good because you just can do some things which are hard to do in the terminal without the terminal. And that's really cool. So on the upside, I get updates for software 2 weeks earlier. Like 2 days ago, there was a new version of Godot Engine released, 3.4. And today there was a Arch Linux update for that. Pacman S. Why you? You can see there's a... where is it? Oh, there it is, Godot 3.4. Oh, I'm covering it up with my head. Yeah, there's Godot. So they're pretty fast. Nonetheless, I was thinking about Endeavor, but it doesn't seem to be like a super simple Linux distribution. I've loaded a bunch of them on a USB stick to try them out. Like a few Linux distributions I have never tried before, like Elementary OS, which I must say was very surprised. Elementary OS worked very nice on this thing. This is Asus T100HA. It's a convertible tablet with an Intel iCore inside, and it was shipped with Windows 10. I don't know how can they do that when Windows 10 eats so much RAM, and this thing has like, 4 gigs or 2 gigs. I don't know. It's crazy. How could they do that? I think it has 2 gigs of RAM. and Elementary OS was the only thing that properly recognized the touch screen and didn't have the touch inputs 90 degrees rotated in relation to the display, and also like properly handled rotating the device. I think, yeah, like, no, maybe not rotating, but the touch input worked, and that was amazing. But I think this device is already fucked. It's fucked because it just freezes after some time. You run it and it runs for 10 minutes and it just freezes. Only it doesn't freeze on Windows 10, but I don't want to have Windows 10 on this crap. It's too slow anyway to use it for anything. Okay, you know what? I think it's time to actually make some music. What do you say? Do you have any suggestions for what should we do today? Like, I'm open for your ideas. Of course, I'm going to start with synthesizing a kick, but what type of kick? You know, the kicks can be varied. Rayso asks, music? Is this a distro? I think I don't understand. Maybe I should read some context. Psytrance, dude. Psytrance. 2 people say Psytrance. Never available says Retrowave and synth metal, which is two different things. So you have like half a vote for two things. Guitar plugins, maybe? Altermind says hardcore, minimal. I'm quite... what if we mixed... Okay, another person says Retrowave. Psychedelic trance to be understood. Maybe we should go like psychedelic trance, but Retrowave. B Music says, I can't hear sine waves anymore. Start with a square wave. Oh, Fizz sample manipulating, and X says, oh, that's a good topic. We could try and tackle that. I haven't prepared for it, but we could do that. I want to put a pin into that. All right, you know what? Let's maybe do like a Retrowave Psytrance and then add in orchestral elements onto that. We have an hour to go. I think we should do it. Okay, let's first do the kick. I'm gonna change the amplitude. Let's change the frequency. Psytrance needs a very plucky kick, so I'm gonna turn up the frequency so we can start with a nice short plucky transient. Okay, that's too low. The awesome thing about Geon Kick is like I have never been able to do good. Okay, we're using G sharp. We could do G sharp. G sharp could be our key. Geon Kick is amazing because it allows me to so quickly tune my envelopes and even like seed and musical notes for the frequencies. That is so useful. No other open source plugin lets me synthesize kicks so quickly, so precisely. Really, I love Geon Kick. It's amazing. Unfortunately, the development is paused for now. The developer is not working on it at the moment. But still, it's an amazing plugin. We could add a noise component. Let's see what that does. I'm going to turn it down because it's going to be loud. We need to make it short. Jeffrey Allred says, how about some arpeggiated synth stuff? Oh, I've recently found an arpeggiator plugin that actually does what I wanted to do with an arpeggiator plugin. There's so many ideas. I should start writing them down. Hold on, I'm going to open up a Kate session. Yep. Write down some things. Yep. Okay. Psytrance plus Retrowave plus orchestral plus RP synths. Okay. Read says reverse kick. Can we reverse stuff in... No, we can't reverse, I think. I don't think we can reverse it in Geon Kick. Let's use a high pass filter. Or bandpass. We could change the cutoff frequency of the filter. I think we need to lower the amplitude because the filters have this problem that sometimes they... Oh, that's an interesting... Huh, that's weird. We have a resonant kick. Steve Pixis says, ooh, shrooms in the making. Yeah, I'm not a psychoactive substance proponent, but I like psychedelic trance music. Probably the only psychoactive substance I'm doing ever is coffee. Maybe a tiny bit of alcohol sometimes, but I'm really not that drinker. That's a very weird kick. Maybe it's a good night. Good night. That's gonna be a wet kick. Oh wait, I'm tweaking things that are not relevant. All right, we can use some distortion, or maybe not, because we can use chow tape afterwards. Okay, you can see that we have quite a transient here. I think this kick is a little bit painful, so we need to EQ it. I'm going to reach out for X42 EQ, stereo. I've been using X42 plugins more and more because they are very optimized for quickly doing things. Okay, these are in resonance. I actually like the air that this gives us. I think we need to multiband compress it. LSP multiband compressor. I have made some presets for LSP multiband compressor because setting it up takes some time. I made two, slam and soft. Let's hear slam. I can't believe it did that. How was gonna soft sound at that? Soft is better. Oh, wow. Okay, the only thing that these two presets really do is up the ratio. So this is 2:1. On the soft preset I made, ratios are 2:1. And attacks... Yeah. I usually, do everything from scratch, but I think... What if I move this? Okay. Okay, so that's a pre-emphasis. Let's add another EQ afterwards as a de-emphasis. Oh, afterwards, I mean. Whoa, we have a lot of peaking. Yeah. Let's use a limiter. Or clipper. We could use Wolf Shaper to clip this. What I like to do, Wolf Shaper is one of the few plugins that actually provide oversampling that works. However, only on 2 times, because the higher are actually broken, and 2 times oversampling gives the best results. So I right-click to insert a point, and then I move this thing so it flattens out. Now we should have clipped the top, but we did not. So let's use temper. No, not temper. I want to use chow tape. Where is it? There it is. Oh. That's taking a bit too long. Okay. I was a bit worried it may crash. So chow tape also features oversampling up to 16 times, and it does a great job. Chow tape is actually the cleanest distortion plugin I found. The cleanest open source distortion plugin. It can saturate very cleanly, no aliasing. That's quite loud. I want to turn it down. Okay, I think it's time to make a pattern. What tempo should we go? So this is going to be psi wave, orchestral psi wave. That's what we're going for. Hey, 120. Let's go 123. Huh? Because LOL. Because LOL. Okay, I think that the highs are a bit painful. I think I'll need to turn this noise component down because it's just not very great. All right, I'm gonna hit the right square bracket to loop the selection and then hit L key to start the loop playback. And I think it's quite loud. I'm gonna turn this down. Yeah, it's a bit more manageable. Also, I think we're getting extra runs, or maybe it's just Ardor not being able to loop this cleanly. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it just craps out on the loops. Okay. Kritsi Murasan says 138 and Rerad says 130 BPM. Okay, so maybe I can average this out to 134? What do you say? It's gonna be good? Kick. Oh no, I'm gonna meme it out. That's gonna be this. All right, now we need a bass. We could use Surge, an excellent synthesizer plugin, open source. The only downside of Surge, you can find many, but one thing is that it only works as a VST free plugin. And I'm gonna insert actually 4 instances of that. Sybase. Okay, and the simplest way to create your pattern is just get your kick, extend the notes, and there you go. Oh, well, let's also check what is the pitch of the note we have. So it was G sharp. Okay, well, let's tune our bass to G sharp as well, just to make sure the kick and the bass are playing in the same theme. G sharp. I think G sharp is a good Wait, that's too slow. I need to speed it up. Okay, let's go. T for stretch, and now. Okay, we need to change this patch to actually hear what we're doing. This is Surge, a fantastic open source synthesizer plugin. Very powerful. Let's go retrigger. So we have a nice, even. I'm gonna. Okay, let's go in low pass. And let's use the filter envelope generator. Let's just apply it to the. What do we have here? Oh, nice. We have. What if we make it follow the key tracking? Yeah, key tracking. Steve Pixis says, if Psytrance, then 142 at least, or won't be Psy enough. Kimota Music says, try the Surge XT. I don't think I know what that is. Luceminax says, Surge is only VST free. I'm pretty sure I had it as LV2 as well. Yes, they had an LV2 version before, but it didn't work. Yeah, it had bugs. Okay, let's try this. I think I don't like this filter. Or we can saturate it. can also apply the filter envelope generator to the saturation. Yeah, I think I need to make the notes. This is too loud. Oh, I haven't tried Surge XT. Oh, so they've made some major strides. Okay, I think what we need to do is sidechain this bass with the kick. So, Ace compressor stereo. This is the stock Ardor compressor. Let's enable sidechain input from the kick. Let's take it into account. And let's play the loop. Yay. Yay! Starting bounce. Yeah. Zard says, use Odin 2 for something. Odin 2 would be very nice for these basses because it has nice analog feel. But I didn't use Surge for quite a while, so why not use that? All right, now we need some Retrowave stuff. Retrowave lead. I think we just need a lot of unison. Filters. Let's use an LFO. Make it sync to tempo. That's too fast. Let's play a little higher octave. Oh, if I retrigger, then the unison voices will start in phase and then drift apart, which is a very interesting effect that reminds me of old school analog synthesizers. We could add some effects like a chorus. Want some more stereo width. Also a delay would be nice. And it would be a good thing to high pass this. And conveniently, Surge has a high pass filter just built into this, specifically for this. Let's try and come up with some melody. Okay, that's 4 Bs. 4 bars. I think that's a good foundation. C'est les good foundation. Okay, now let's see if Ardor the timing or not. Of course it does. That's what it does. That's what it's for. So Ardor has these problems with rounding errors, and it makes notes shorter or longer whenever it feels like it. Which is quite problematic. And sometimes I find myself really lost and not knowing why the heck my beats are not aligned. It's usually not audible, but it can be problematic. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can. First thing is I would merge this whole baseline, consolidate range, into a single region, so I can just easily copy and paste it, and also easily transpose this. Let's see what plays higher. Christian Treldal says, Unfa, why are the backgrounds blurry today? It's impossible to read text in menus. I think this must be a problem of low quality of you must be watching this in low quality, because I'm streaming clear, sharp 1080p 60. So please check what is your resolution of playback. Maybe you're playing 480p or 720, because that must be the reason. The problem must be on your side. I think I'd also like to make a melody. And maybe a snare or a clap or whatever. We could do a snare. I'm gonna duplicate our kick with a new playlist so we don't have all the notes copied. I'm gonna call it snare. And I'm gonna turn our kick into a snare. Turn your kick into a snare with this easy trick. Just gonna change these. I'm gonna make the filter very... Is it the noise thing? Ah, shit. Ah, yes. Huh, I wish there was a way to clear this envelope. Envelope. I could just remove all the points. Can I remove all the points? Remove all the points! Okay. So a snare doesn't need to have such a long tone. Wow, I think our multiband compression just rings out a tone that isn't there. All right. Now this noise volume. Oh, I'm playing both at the same time. That's the reason. All right, that makes sense. I like this. Look how quickly we made a snare out of a kick. If only everything in life would be this easy. Yikes. Yay! Now we can make a half pattern. And of course this snare is too loud. I'll need to turn it down, because in Psytrance I don't know if they even use like kicks and snares in Psytrance usually. Now we could do the RP stuff. Oh, that's loud. It's kind of weird that I'm playing 16ths, but okay. Ah. Eh. This is difficult. I'm not terribly confident with this. Oh, I just transposed one note. I wanted to transpose the entire MIDI region. Again? I'm selecting the region, not the note. Okay, that's just Ardor being itself. Okay, Alt, Shift, and up. Actually, just Alt. Okay. Yeah, actually, it doesn't make sense for me to put in the first notes because they are going to be sidechained away anyway. Okay, I'm going to use this pattern. Or maybe I'm going to put them there because they kind of like add a little bit of flow. Try this. I think we could use some reverb on this snare. I am really liking the reverb plugin Ether. Of course, it's open source. It has some random Cs you can tweak. And it has a lot of settings. Also, I wish I'd... Why does it always play the kick as well? Oh, why does it take so long to click on this track? Oh man, I have a bad feeling about this. Well, that doesn't look good. Okay. I think we need to do this again. Let's see. Yeah, so recently Ardor wasn't perfectly stable for me. Let's see if I have any questions to answer. Thankfully, the crash recovery have been fixed after me nagging the developers a lot about it. Okay, let's see, did we lose anything? Yeah, this snare is way too much. I like the reverb, but I think I should gate this afterwards. And there's a nice plugin called Gate by Steve Harris. It's a LADSPA plugin, very old, but it really does the job so well. That's where we're inserting the retrowave, because the gated reverb on the snare. That's oh, we can also record some samples, some vocal performances, because why not? to take back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. Okay, this is a bit quiet. I'm gonna use Alt and 6 to make it louder. Back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. I think I'm gonna just keep the second version because the first one, like, my pronunciation was weird. Okay, mark myself. This is the like point B. Back to the 90s. Of course, we need to process this thing. You can saturate it for beginner to begin with. Back to the 90s. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's kind of silly, but I don't know. Never done that. Back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. Yes, I know it's terribly loud. Back to the 90s. Luckminax says, oh, alrighty. I thought it was only me having these crashes with Ardour recently. Just started playing with it again. Ghed Void asks, any idea if those crashes are due to PipeWire or not? I am really not sure. I think they could be, because Ardour was more stable for me when I wasn't using PipeWire. Back to the 90s. Okay, I'm going to disable strict I/O so that this signal path is split into stereo and not just kept mono forcefully, which is going to give us nice stereo reverb. Back to the 90s. We definitely need some delay on that. And you know what? You could use Delay Architect, which is a really cool plugin that I've been showing, but I've been showing an old user interface for it. Back to the 90s. And how do you do it? Yeah, just click. Back to the 90s. And maybe I'm gonna make this like more spaced out. Yeah. I'm gonna make this like fade out and panning. I'm gonna do left, right, and then less left and less right, so they're gonna like converge into center. And we have filters. Filters are freaking cool because you can have low pass and high pass. So you can have like a band pass filter on every delay tap separately, which is pretty freaking cool. Let's listen to that. Back to the 90s. And then you can add feedback. So the taps are then like, I think I need more narrower filtering. Maybe like -8 decibels. 90s. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna put this before chow tape. Back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. Wow, like, wow. It seems to have some problems with clearing MIDI buffers, whatever that is. Maybe it is a PipeWire problem. I think it must be. Okay, thankfully we have good... good crash recovery. So Ardor also... I think we have 15 minutes. I don't think if we are gonna make everything we want. Back to the 90s. Our delay architect patch is gone. Shitey. Oh, these are the filters. No, my beautiful filter things. I can also make the resonance, these filters resonant? Yeah, which is gonna be really cool. And there's also pitch shifting involved, which is quite crazy. Okay, let's see. Back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. Sahadiva says, had some feedback. Yeah, you're a dub man. You like delays with feedbacks. Let's do that. Also, I want to make this more resonant and see just what happens. If these filters are going to start screaming, what's going to be? Back to the 90s. 7 Moral asks, Unfa, can you switch back from PipeWire to jack? It's not easy. I mean, I could just uninstall PipeWire jack drop-in, and that should do it, pretty much. I didn't try it yet, because that would be another, like, I've already optimized my streaming and recording setup for PipeWire, so if I now went back on that, it could be Control-S. Okay, let's do that. Zard says, does Ardor work via ALSA under PipeWire? I think it's circumvents PipeWire if you tell it to use ALSA. And it like says, okay, PipeWire, move out of the way. This device is mine. And then PipeWire doesn't have access to it. So we can like make Ardor the only user of an audio device by choosing PipeWire as ALSA as the audio backend. If you choose Pulse Audio, it shouldn't be different, but jack does not allow you to have any MIDI input or audio input if you use the Pulse Audio backend. Back to the 90s. Okay, I think we don't have much more time. Let's do some orchestral thing, or maybe at least an ARP. Okay, let's do Arpeggiator. Yeah, the mod Arpeggiator. I'm gonna make it a favorite because this is really. It's a simple, very simple effect, but this is all I really wanted. And wait, that's as fast as it goes. All right, let's do something then. We could do a pluck, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Reread asks, Unfa, have you tried Windows Vista? Are you joking? I did not. The last Windows I used voluntarily was Windows XP. And then I found Ubuntu, and I never went back to Windows. I mean, I had to use Windows 10 at work sometimes, but yeah. I think actually Windows 11 might make more people switch to Linux. Okay, like, all right, let's go. This is gonna be ARP. Back to the 90s. Back to the. I think this note is wrong. It doesn't. It's not wrong, but it feels wrong. Now we can make arpeggios. Ardor's awesome snapping doesn't snap to grid, just snaps to whatever it wants. You see what do you see what happens? Do you see what's going on in here? Like, what the heck is that? Every single bar is wherever it wants. That's just that's messed up, man. Okay, now we can do like quarter notes, I think. Weird. Something is not correct. Host sync, quantized start. That doesn't do anything. Maybe this is too fast. Zard says, that propagates the error like no tomorrow. Yeah, you just keep duplicating things and they just start being shorter or longer, whichever Ardor prefers. That's really, really annoying. Okay, I think I would disable this plugin for... I feel like this melody is not compatible with my bass line here. G sharp, A sharp, B, again G sharp, oh, what I'm starting at D sharp. Okay, G sharp, A sharp, D. Yeah. What about this? Back to the 90s. Back to the 90s. Oh, wait. It doesn't... Oh, did I put it in the wrong place? I think I must have. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, but lovely. It snaps to something that it is misplaced on its own instead of to the grid. That's lovely. Like, they simplified this panel. You can't... you have less options here. And it snaps smartly, which means it snaps to whatever the hell it wants to. And because it also messes up lengths, it just messes up them more, because then it snaps to points that are not on the grid. Back to the 90s. I want to have this start at 90s. Oh, maybe I can like ARP mode. Played. Yes, played. I can just say 90. would be probably easier to just do this manually in the MIDI editor, but this plugin allows you to do this kind of stuff live. What if you distorted this really bad? Oh, temper. Just make it quieter before and just do the 90s. Make it shorter as well. That's some resonance. Resonance. Huh? Whoa. I'm gonna enable auto return, so when I stop, the transport goes back to where it was before I started playback. This way, I can very easily go back and replay parts. You are in minor, stick to that. Yeah, I am. This is not the usual way I'm doing compositions, because I'm kind of like not spending enough time on certain elements. Wow, this is really freaking loud, because I want to push it forward so we manage to make more. Ha ha ha, etcher. S like split. Oh, lovely. Ah, lovely. Oh, it doesn't want to snap to something. Snap to the don't snap to the yeah. There's Ardor MIDI for you. I'm so waiting. I'm so waiting for Ardor 7 to fix all this crap. The rhythm of this is absolutely totally boring, so that's like no good. I need to make this more interesting. Yay. Back to the 90s. I think our little vocals piece is not really like working with the beat. Back to the 90s. We need to cut it up and like quantize it a bit. Just grab things and move them to the nearest beat. Okay, that should do it. Okay, let's see. Back to the 90s. Okay, I think we're kind of like lagging. Back to the 90s. There should be a pause, like back to the back to the 90s. It's a little bit better, I think. Yep. Alter Mind says 21:30. Yes, it's time to play the music submissions. Alrighty. Let's play this thing one more time. And it would have been much better. It would be much better if I didn't spend half an hour talking before, because we only had like 40 to 50 minutes. My lo-fi says 3 crashes in 90 minutes is quite good. It's not usually that bad, but I'm always adopting new software. And I think the Christy Murasan says back should be on the first beat. Back. Yes, that's bad. That's back to tonight. I think 2 should also be on the maybe that's back to tonight. Shit. Back to tonight. Can also time stretch things if you like wanna like fill the gaps. Wait, what? Okay, that wasn't time stretching. T to time stretch, and then you just click and drag. Back to the 90s. Maybe it's sounding a little better. A little better. All right, now we can consolidate this. Actually, not consolidate. We can select a range using the range tool and then go. Wait. Sorry for delaying, but I need to figure this out. There was an option for that. Combine. Yes, edit combine. And now it acts as a single region. How? And you can edit it further, but you can uncombine and reveal the original edit. That is really cool because you can like have layers of chopping recordings. And what's good now is I can copy this and just have it. All right, let's listen to this for the final time and go to the music submissions. 3, 2, 1, go. I misplaced this for sample recording. I put this in the wrong spot. Darn. Okay. Well, I hope this was a nice, nice, entertaining demonstration. We can hide the crash counter for now. Let's save this. I'm gonna close Ardor, and the time has come for the live music submissiones. Alrighty. Let's start off with a track titled Half Moon, which is Work in Progress or Not by Steve Pixis. And they write it was made with LMMS, Zenat SubFX, and a few Calf plugins. Extra comment says, nice. This is awesome. And that flanger and the build-up. It's really hard for me to say anything that could be improved about this. It's really well done. Alrighty, that was Half Moon by Steve Pixis, and now Pink Structure Over Your Head by SG75. A very trippy piece. Not gonna lie.
It's looking at me. Should I look at it? It's looking at me.
This track was made with Ardor, Vitalium, Gion Kick, the usual suspects from LSP and Air Windows, and some noise repellent. And MA pitch shift on the vocal samples. And there's a list of vocal samples by Katarina Rose,
There's like a big structure.
licensed under CC BY, so that credit is important.
It's looking.
And there's also CC0 licensed. Women Whispering ASMR 01. Alright. They also write,
It's looking at me.
this is the first time I've used ASMR sounds. I like it for ambience, and it even works for vocals. I really like the ambient pads in the background. And the overall synth sounds. The vocal samples work really well, nice as well.
There's like a big structure over your head.
But this whisper is very creepy.
It's looking at me.
The lyrics don't help it.
Should I look at it? It's looking at me. There's like a big structure over your head. It's soft pink. It's looking at me. It's looking at me. Should I look at it? Look at it. Get it. Should I look at it? Get it.
I'm tempted to read out comments from the chat, but I don't want to talk over the music. Alrighty, that was Pink Structure Over Your Head by SG75. And now we're gonna listen to Dream City by Quantizer. Lovely start. Very unusual for Quantizer. I also think it has unusually large dynamic range. Maybe I'm mistaken. This track was made with Wait! No. I'm wrong. We're listening to a track titled Game Over by Sahativa. Who was that? And they're right. It was made with Ardor 6.7, OS 251 synthesizer, Air Windows, Galactic Flopster, X42 digital peak limiter. I love this weird distorted bass in the end. They also write, this track came while I was noodling with a synth, OS 251, so 4 OS 251 synths and a Flopster just for ambient sound. As effects, only 3 Air Windows Galactic, these are reverbs, were involved, and a X42 digital peak limiter. It was overkill. Maybe the simplest and shortest track I submitted here. I hope you'll enjoy yet another style from me. Yeah, that's a very refreshing thing. Very different. Thank you, Sahativa. So that was Game Over. And now we're gonna listen to Dream City by Quantizer. Let's go! This track was made with LMMS, Zenat SubFX, Vital, and Audacity. I really like this amplitude modulated vocals sample choir. They write, I'm learning how to mix and master properly, thanks to people like yourself. Thanks. Having lots of fun trying to improve sound quality. Nice. It already sounds much cleaner than the tracks I've heard from you, and I've listened to quite a lot of them because I liked them. I think there's much more dynamics, and that's for the better. The bass no longer crunches everything else, and it doesn't overpower the whole mix. Man, I love this. Dude, the mix is much better. You're improving. The great things about your stuff are there, and it's sounding better than ever. I love this lead line and the harmony in it. This gives me goosebumps. That's some interesting atonal stuff here. So that was Dream City by Quantizer. Gahan Void asks, where could I find those submissions? I'm loving each one of them. Oh, God. I'm going to link the public music places of the artists that submitted music that I played. So just go to the live stream archive video on YouTube, and in the video description, you'll find links to all the artists. Quantizer is on Audius, and I've listened to all of their tracks there some time ago. Yay! Awesome work. I can hear a huge improvement in the mixing. Really glad. There's also more variety. Previously, I had a little problem that the bass was like all the overpowering the mixes in your tracks, Quantizer, and it was also like playing throughout the whole track, and it was getting a bit stale, and it needed some change. So that's definitely a move in the good direction. That's a good improvement. Alrighty, let's now hear a track titled Crystal Clear, Work in Progress 1A by Outer Mind. Awesome. This track was made with LMMS. Outer Mind also writes, work in progress, first part of Climax so far. They use Sensitive FX, SFXR, Surge, Vatson. The kicks are his own, as always. Also some drum samples. So that was Crystal Clear by Outer Mind, a work in progress track. One thing I would like to say is that, like, as usual, this is very well done. However, I think that the kick, or the kick bass, is a tad too loud, and I think is out of balance, a bit overpowering the rest of the mix. So I think that needs a little bit of polish, but this is work in progress, of course. Alrighty, the next track is titled Ui Sanguinis by an artist named Malfeuse. I hope I pronounced it right. And that's his first submission to my live stream, so welcome, Malfeuse. It's great to see a new artist here. We've got some very unique tastes. Awesome. This was made with Ardor, Drum Gizmo, Virtual Playing Orchestra on Ubuntu Studio. They also write, there's also a complete live stream of me playing the drums on my songs on YouTube. I'll provide the link if you're interested. Guys, are you interested? wonder if I'm hearing distorted guitars in the background. Am I clipping? No way. I'm negative 10 decibels. Very interesting composition. I think the track is clipped. Yeah, you can probably see it on the vector scope. I think the mix requires some work, especially the drums. They sound like they're perfectly mono and quite distorted as well. But I love the composition. This is very unique and interesting. So that was Ui Sanguinis by Malfeus. And that was an awesome introduction. I hope to hear more tracks from you. And really cool to hear some virtual playing orchestra being used, which is a fantastic collection of open source, or how do you say it? Copylefted orchestral instruments, sampled instruments. Alrighty. Now a track titled For Nicole, work in progress, by another first timer on Unfa live streams, and their name is Schlagzeugtier. Schlagzeugtier, I believe. Is that like a train? Schlagzeug? Schlagzeugtier? I don't know. Alrighty, let's hear it. For Nicole. I love the chords and how they work with the lead. I like the drum pattern, though the mixing of the drums needs work. Wow, all of these sounds really cool. What is that? Yeah, the snare is too loud. That's one thing. This was made with Ardor 6.6, Zenat Sub FX, Vitalium, Sample V1, EQ10Q, Calf Reverb, and Calf Compressor. The author also writes, I tried to make an 80s new wave-like track as a birthday present for a singer friend. The lyrics are still being written. Awesome. I can imagine a vocal line over this. Is it gonna replace one of the synthesizer instrument? I really like the drum rhythm. It's quite unique. But yes, the snare is too loud. And I give some more low frequencies to the kick. The hi is a tiny bit too loud in my opinion. But very nice work. Welcome. I hope to hear more from you, Schlagzeugtier. I hope I pronounced it right. Alrighty. We have another submission. It's called Dance Tonight by DNF. And I believe I've heard DNF before on this show. Let's go. Yeah, it's like the fourth track of DNF. It was made with Ardor, with Surge, Hell, DRMR, with the Electric Empire kit loaded, LSP plugins. Awesome. I wonder where the vocals come from. Are they original? Maybe DNF is in the chat and can tell us. I'd love to know. I love this harmony. Gives me chills. That's very interesting. I like this breakdown. The kick sounds a little uncontrolled. I like the percussion though. The bass is quite basic. I'd love to hear something more complex. About the mix, I think the vocal could be a little bit quieter, not much. The kick could be a little bit louder, and the bass needs more bass, in my opinion, and less highs. But overall, this is really catchy, and I love this middle part with the chords. Awesome stuff. The author also writes, "It's hard to keep working on the music regularly. I wish everybody lots of determination and pride in their work. Also, I'm implementing live streams on Twitch as a semi-regular basis, working on Bespoke. So keep an eye on that. So keep an eye out for HS Music." Wait, you're gonna be working on Bespoke as a software developer, or you're gonna be making music with Bespoke synth? Love to know. Alrighty, that was Dance Tonight from DNF. The next track on our playlist is called Mind Control from yet another first-timer, and their name is Classic with a K. Let's go. Really cool sounds. This was made with Ardor 6.9, Calf and LSP plugins, Suit, S-Peak, Geon Kick, Ninja Stew, OBXD and Vitalium. Yeah. Me likey. Dude. This bops.
A world where everything is under command. My perfect world. A world controlled by sound. My perfect world. A world controlled by sound. Mind control.
Honestly, this makes me want to record vocals for this. Like, just have a shot at it. Maybe you'd find them useful. If you're interested, hit me up.
Mind control.
The author writes, "Hello, unfa and chat. This is actually my first track I've made using purely FOSS. Nice first timer, dude.
Now you have heard angels give their story. It's starting to take shape. All these beautifully synthetic voices.
I'm loving this.
And let them serenade you.
Let me continue. I've recently made the switch from FL Studio to trying out strictly FOSS music production ever since I basically binge-watched most of your videos, lol. And suffice to say, I see how much passion you have for what you do, unfa, and when I see how much fun you have interacting with your community, making all sorts of sounds, and the mindset of being able to share it so freely is very inspiring and something that I feel encompasses the idea of being a creative individual, and I love this idea also. I guess the bottom line here would be, thank you for being you, unfa. I'm sure you've inspired so many people, you can include me in that list, and your passion clearly shows. Here's to the future of FOSS music production."
Mind control.
Thank you so much. I love this letter and I love this music. Make more! And if you'd like me to record some voices for this, let me know. That could be fun. Whew! Okay, this is not the end. Oh no, I know we're over time, but whatever. The next track is titled Going Upwards by My Lo-Fi. My Lo-Fi consistently submits excellent tracks, and he seems to be a very proficient guitar player as well. So that's always very unique. And this time, I believe it's in 7/8. Yep, let's go. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Such beautiful sounds. Flawlessly blended. This was made with Ardor, Guitarix, Drum Gizmo, and Bristol. They also write, no dubstep drop, but 7/8 time signature. This is beautiful. bass. You need to release an album. This is too good. This is just too fantastic. Man, you need to release an album. My goodness. That's just fantastic. I have nothing to say. This is flawless. This is pure amazing musicality. Fantastic. That was Going Upwards by My Lo-Fi. And the last track for today to this evening is titled To Save the World by Ksawery Treningowski. I think we've heard this track before, so this is probably an updated version. It's the longest one yet. This is beautiful. My jazz bone is absolutely flattered today. Thank you. This is fantastic. I absolutely this composition. And also this weird wacky timing. I'm pretty sure it's totally deliberate because the playing is too good for this to be random. The mix could use some work, especially it's pretty much mono. Yeah, it's perfectly mono. It would be great to have some stereo field. But I love the sounds. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That was fantastic. I'm delighted. I got like I need to put on something because I just got chills all over my back. Wow. Thank you so much. That was amazing. Thanks to everyone who submitted their music. I enjoyed every single track. Of course, we're on different stages of development as musicians. Some of us are just starting out. Some of us seem to be seasoned composers and performers. And that's awesome. That's amazing. I'm really happy to have you here. I'm really happy to be able to inspire people. And yeah, I love these live streams. It's like a party. So I'm always stressed before they start if everything is going to work out because I really want to deliver. I don't want to let you down. Don't know what to say more about this whole thing. Wow. I'm kind of stunned by these two last tracks. Like they're really God. Wow. I don't know. Just that was awesome. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this live stream. I hope you've learned something, got inspired. I hope I answered some of your questions. I'll be publishing more videos this month. I'm releasing them a bit early for Patreon supporters to to just show them that I really appreciate that. So yeah, huge thanks to everyone who's supporting my work financially. These monthly donations are really important, and like without them, I couldn't justify the time I spend preparing all of that, preparing this show. And it's a lot of work. I love it. So yeah, thanks for the support. It's really appreciated. Also, if anyone has some issues with Linux or open source software for music production or sound design, or just want to hang out with the crowd that is frequenting my live streams, or me, or just sometime hear some work in progress stuff or watch some videos early or whatever, you can join my community chat at chat.unfa.xyz. And yeah, there's also a Discord server. So Discord is proprietary. So I'm mostly promoting the chat, but you can also find the Discord server. If you go there, you can read everything publicly on chat.unfa.xyz, and you can go to newcomer info channel, and there you can find a link to the Discord server, I believe, as well. Yeah. That's really all I have for today. I don't know. These submissions today were really exceptional. I'm legit stunned. I just would like to listen to them again and again. I'm going to link all the artists in the live stream archive description. And if you're making music with open source software, please go to the link in the live stream description. Also, under every single one of my at least recent videos, you'll find a link to the music submission form where you can send your stuff and have it played on my show. Of course, the time is limited, but so far I'm not getting too much submissions, so there's room. So please do that. Everyone will enjoy it. Thank you, especially for the new submitters, because that's always difficult to send something for the first time. I hope you've enjoyed hearing your music played on the show, and you'll be submitting more, because I loved hearing that. And it's awesome to hear new styles of music. It's awesome to hear unheard things and see people using open source software in ways I would not imagine. And we all get inspired from that. That's like partially the point where I'm doing this segment of playing your submissions, is to have everyone, myself included, to just get inspired to make something awesome. Yeah, that's all for today. I am 16 minutes over time, so sorry for that, but that was fantastic. I have nothing more to say. Have a good night, and I will see you all in the videos. Oh yes, now go make some music.